up? It's your boy, right now you tuned right now you World Combat Sports.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, you're listening to World Combat Sports. Man, we just a day out before we are on the eve of bringing in the new year, 2021. First and foremost, I want to give a salute to those who support World Combat Sports. To the day ones, twos, threes, and fours, and fives, I appreciate you. Pass the word. You know what I'm saying? Continue to support, World Combat Sports as we enter a new year. I always appreciate everyone who stopped through, and your input is welcome. You know what I'm saying? Along with your attendance. So if you're looking at my thumbnail, right? Jarrell Miller IG Live rant calling out Wilder, Joshua Fury, and all that. If you don't know, Jarrell Miller's been on a suspension from the sport for popping a third time in professional sports, something like that, third or fourth time. So I caught up with him. I actually tried to get on his live, but I caught up with him on IG Live maybe about 45 minutes ago. And, he was out there going off about, being drug tested. So he was in the process of being drug tested right now. And he was letting it be known that why is it one place that you got to get drug tested and so forth. He wasn't, really feeling it. Getting drug tested on the 30th. You know what I'm saying? He's getting drug tested on the 30th, just before the new year. They was trying to catch him slipping, man. So Jarrell Miller started going off on, once again, who's taking drugs besides him. He mentioned Dillian White. He said Dillian White took a needle in the ass. He never took any drugs in the ass. He just took an oral base, right? So I'm like, what does it matter? It's drugs, you know what I'm saying? Just live with the consequences of you getting caught and testing positive for drugs. Stop all the nonsense. So he goes on to say, I'm taking my punishment as a man. I lost millions of dollars. Okay, we know that, bro. We know you have. But right now, you need to just pop clean, come back clean on the cup and urine, and then let it go from there. Michael Johnson boxing in the house. What's good? Say what it do. Ken in the building. World Combat Sports salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat smash alike. I appreciate you. What's going on? Mark Nash in the building. So Jarrell Miller, we're not sure when he's going to be back, to be honest. But I know he has a lot of legality awaiting him as time goes by. I don't know. But he took it upon himself to kind of talk about calling out Wilder, Fury, Joshua, all this other nonsense. And I'm like, you need to wait till you come off suspension first before we even can take that serious. Don't be calling out no goddamn body right now while you're on suspension for umpteen time. Come on, Jarrell. Man, we can't get hyped up that you coming back to my, I'm a knock Wilder ass out. I'm a fuck up Fury. I'm a goddamn fuck up Joshua. We can't believe none of that because, first of all, you out of the sport of boxing right now. And it's going to be a minute before you return. So with that said, we can't even place you to an equation right now, especially in the U.S. footprint as coming back and doing damage in 2021. We can't give you that. You know what I'm saying? We just can't give it to you. The only reason I'm giving it to you is because I bumped into you, your IG Live, and it's just something to talk about. But Jarrell says that once his suspension is over, he's getting his license and he's coming back to boxing, or he may go to MMA or kickboxing. As you all know, Jarrell Miller did in fact kickbox before. You know what I'm saying? And he popped positive over there in kickboxing. So it comes down to, Jarrell Miller, man. I gotta give him, his little minimal credit. When I did run up on him in Newark, he did holler at me and goddamn tell me the truth that he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So I have to give him a minimal ounce of integrity when I walked up on him in the midst of everybody, his manager, his people, all that shit. So he just said basically he fucked up. So I will always give Jarrell Miller that credit for being a man and stepping up and telling me to my face that he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? He said he ain't the only one. He could have dropped a dime on many of people, but he indeed fucked up. Jose Canseco just snitching because he finished Rick Ross' voice. Man, appreciate Mark Nash in the building. Thanks for the donation, man. Say smash them damn likes. Breaking beats, Mark Nash. Hashtags. Appreciate you pulling up, my brother. Transcendent Sports Channel in the building. He said, salute, brother. Kamastaka. All much respect. I say Genki Desk. He said, Mark Nash, what's up? Jarrell Miller is the equivalent to watching Randy Watson on stage. Man, y'all try not to go too hard on Jarrell Miller, man, because we headed to 2021. And to be honest with you, if he wouldn't have came on IG Live, I probably wouldn't be talking about it. But it was so funny that he was taking a piss test on the 30th of December. They say, well, let's put up on Jarrell Miller, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's pull up on him before, we bring in the New Year's to see if he been fucking around, taking some drugs. So I guess he has to complete the drug pool and so forth and stay clean. And then I guess following his suspension, he'll be able to return to the sport. All right. So Retro for Life, 79 bucks. What's good? Salute to you, man. From my understanding, Jarrell Miller professionally as a fighter, this last testing was his third time, I believe. His third time. Or maybe his fourth. I think it was one time in kickboxing and 3 times in boxing. If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but it was 3 to 4 times. His third or fourth time. I wanna lie heavy on his third time. All right, his third time. But that's all Jarrell Miller get from me right now. That's it, bro. We got to turn this shit up just a little bit, right? So I want to give a shout out to ones who been loyal subscribers, man, and sticking to the game, man, of turning in for boxing and MMA content. I appreciate you. Real talk. We got Ryan Garcia coming up and Luke Campbell, y'all. We have Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. That fight is close to happening in 2035. So I want y'all to keep a close eye on that fight, man. 2035, 40. We might be next to that fight, to be honest with you. I might be in a wheelchair by then in hospice care, but goddamn, I'll make sure that I turn my hearing aid up and go to the damn, the TV room to see if they showing the fight. But that's the way it's looking like right now. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, they'll probably fight sometime 2030, 2035. Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell, they promoting this fight more than I've seen them promote fights of other people. You know what I'm saying? Like Terrence Crawford and shit and so forth. I mean, Ryan Garcia getting some pretty good airplay. So therefore, the only thing we want from Ryan Garcia is to perform. We want him to perform, you all. Because I'm really looking forward to Ryan Garcia facing one of the big names. whether it be Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, one of them. I want to see him go in here. I want it to be a good fight. I really don't want to see, a fight where an opponent that went the distance with Vasyl Lomachenko, who's calling for a rematch with Teofimo Lopez. I really don't want to see Campbell go in here and get knocked out in the second round. I don't want to see Adano or Fonseca. Luke Campbell's on a whole nother level, in my opinion, on a different level. I didn't say a whole nother level, a different level than those two. Seeing him go the distance with Vasyl Lomachenko, I am gauging that he should give Ryan Garcia a pretty competitive fight. That's what I'm assuming. Now, I'm going to call bullshit if the bell ring and Luke Campbell rushes in to a Ryan Garcia counter left hook and he goes down. I'm going to call bullshit. I'm not going to break my TV. You can guarantee that. But I will find the remote and change the fucking channel. I hope Garcia win. He's fast AF. I want to see him versus Haney. Retro for Life said if Miller's allowed back in the sport, he'll be buried so far down in the rankings onto this new crop of heavyweight contenders until he be considered an undefeated journeyman. I agree partially with that 79 boxing because, as you all know, you being a hardcore boxing fan, you all know controversy sells. I don't think they're going to bury him too far in the rankings. They will probably give him a couple of, tune-up fights to get him back, see if he pops clean, get him back in the groove in the lineup. And, he's one of the U.S. heavyweights out there. You know what I'm saying? So they probably going to give him 2 touches, right? See how he looks, see how he works out, because, seeing Jarrell Miller come in here and contend clean, we really don't know how that's going to look. So I partially agree. The part I agree with you on is I don't think they're going to put him in there with an individual that's buried in the bottom of the rankings. Like when you say buried, they're 79. Like when you say buried, it's just harsh. You know what I'm saying? You talking about putting him under in a hole first. You know what I'm saying? He can barely breathe. There's minimal light. They may give Jarrell Miller a pretty decent opponent. Then he looks good. His next outing, they give him a name. I'm assuming, I don't think that name is going to be buried too deep because in the U.S. right now, we don't have a lot of U.S. heavyweights that's making a big name for themselves, to be honest. I know we got Jared Anderson. We got Michael Hunter. We have, but we still got Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder is at the cream of the crop. He's at the top. You know what I'm saying? So around the middle, the lower to middle tier, we still got a building process that we're trying to figure out who's the next. You know what I'm saying? After Deontay Wilder, decides to hang up the gloves, whenever that is, we got to have somebody that's already in the top 10, top 5, able to grab hold of that torch. I'm talking about legit with energy. You know what I'm saying? Transcendent Sports say, what was the drug that he tested for? Cocoa or something like, well, it was an oral. I don't know. I forgot. To be honest, I forgot. If Garcia wins, he got to step up in the Lions Den versus Tanker Haney. So from what I understand, right, they're calling for the winner of Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia to be the mandatory for Devin Haney. But then when you hear Ryan Garcia, he up there calling out Gervonta. And did you not hear Javante call out Ryan Garcia? Said he would like to fight Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Next, because he has all the followers and shit like that. So he pretty much all these cats clout chasing. All of them clout chasing. The first word out their mouth is clout, but they clout chasing. You want to know how that is? I can strand this up real quick. Javante, he's sitting up there clout chasing the freaking members of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, he's clout chasing the PPV and the star status of Javante Davis. Devin Haney is clout chasing Teofimo Lopez because they want the big shot at the belts. They want to see if they can potentially go in there and get it done. You know, everybody has their own freaking objectives and goals right now for 21. So, apart what you said, yeah, definitely I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Ryan Garcia face either Haney or Javante. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It'll be a good fight. But right now, you know, people like myself, I'm giving Ryan Garcia the check mark to win. Now, I just don't want it to be a win where people shake their head and say, you know what, I thought Luke Campbell was going to be a better, you know, he's going to do better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like we expected more from Luke Campbell, the Olympian. Sometimes you look at boxers like Campbell, who's went the distance with Lomachenko, and you like, you know what? We're not assessing Ryan Garcia to be on the level of Vasyl Lomachenko. So we then turn and say Luke Campbell went the distance with Lomachenko, even though he was dropped in the 11th, right? So we look at Ryan Garcia and say, no way, no how Ryan Garcia should go in there and just wash Luke Campbell. Campbell should come in there with a pretty decent boxing offensive tactic game plan for a fighter like Ryan Garcia, who's pretty much taking the biggest fight of his career. This is indeed the biggest fight of Ryan Garcia's career right now. But if he come in here and finish Luke Campbell in under 5 rounds or less, I'm gonna be upset because I know Luke Campbell has better boxing just to rush in to this motherfucking reactive drill that he does all the time, Ryan Garcia. And you know, knowing that he does present speed, but also he's trying to, you know, allow us to understand or assess him as being a power puncher too. So Ryan Garcia is trying to convince us that he's also a power puncher. So we should take that into consideration when telling Ryan Garcia pluses and minuses. He's a power puncher. He's fast. But also Ryan Garcia is flat-footed. What's going to happen when he runs into a fighter which is supposed to box like Luke Campbell? Luke Campbell can box, right? This is what I'm talking about. I'm waiting to see how he reacts to a boxer who knows how to box at distance. He has a pretty decent jab. We're talking about Olympic pedigree here, right? He has pretty decent footwork. We've seen that with Lomachenko. So therefore, don't go in here and try to stand in the phone booth with Ryan Garcia in the first minute of the first round. Use your distance well, man. Work the fundamentals. Use your feints. Because if you know Ryan Garcia, he's going to be trying to land counter shots. So feint the shit out of his ass. You know, make him think a little bit. Don't give him the motherfucking whole pie. Don't give him the whole pie early. What did you learn? What did you learn, Tagalog brother? It's nice to hear that from you. You're just pretty down. First of all, I was overseas in Japan for quite a while, and I did date Filipinos at one point in time in my life. I did, and unfortunately for me, I knew Tagalog enough to speak it enough to get around. You know, being in Subic Bay, Manila, and going over to the Philippines, I knew it enough to get around pretty decent. But also at the time, I was learning Japanese too, and it just gets tough going on deployment and talking Japanese and then turn around, trying to learn two languages. But if I would have stayed over there enough, I would have picked up Tagalog and Hiragana and did pretty decent. But appreciate you asking, man. Yeah, much respect to the Filipino nation for sure. Andrew in the building. You talking about avid boxing fans who fix about 12 to 13 spreads for a boxing match? Filipinos, absolutely hand down, period. 79 Boxing said Miller deserves to be lowered and fed to the fighters like Sanchez, Hunter, Franklin, Yorka, Herkovic, Big Baby Anderson, Okoli, Coffee, the boy, Joyce. Okay. I agree. Yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah. Not so much Big Baby Miller, right? I don't know, man. Maybe so. That'll be a good little match. The challenge, the fight, or the clash between Big Baby Jarrell Miller and Big Baby Anderson. Hey, that fight would be nice because both of them going to build it up. Jarrell Miller, he don't take no shit now. He's the type of dude that'll slap Jared Anderson at the presser. I mean, don't ever get it twisted. You're talking about a guy who used to kickbox. I mean, even though he's a dirty fighter, he's about the business. Real talk. Michael Lewis in the building. What's good? Peace, God, salute to everyone. What y'all talking about? Filipino house. He was just asking me about Tagalog. I pretty much allowed that to rinse off my recall, unfortunately, man. Shit. But yeah, at one point in time I was pretty decent. But I agree with you, 79 Boxing. I would, if you, okay, all these names you just mentioned, definitely not Herkovic right off the back now. I would like to see him, Dubois. Okay, let's say Dubois. Not so much Joe Joyce with that jab and shit. Let's say Dubois, because Dubois is just like Anthony Joshua. They both robots. So let's go Dubois if he was in the situation. Dubois, and then the second fight to kind of hype it up a little bit, the battle of the big babies. You know what I'm saying? Jared Anderson, Big Baby Miller. Yeah, put him in there with that. And that'll be a fight that I don't even think Jared Anderson's team will put him in there with just yet. I don't think so. But also, while I'm on the subject, man, I want to give a shout out to freaking Andy Konoski, man, and Robert Helenius is rematching, y'all. God damn. Andy Konoski and Robert Helenius is back at it again in the rematch. The first time they was out, man, what a shocker. Helenius put the paws on Konoski. If you've never seen Helenius, I like the name, first of all. Helenius, I like that name. But he came out, man, dude had on like a black robe. He looked like he was straight out the freaking cult monastery. And he haven't seen light in a month. He walking down there in a black robe, and he went in there and handled business. Real talk. So they gave Konoski a rematch. I will be tuned into that fight, absolutely. Robert Helenius versus Andy Konoski, y'all. Look, it was a big deal with Andy Konoski. And I know a lot of y'all saying, oh, man, here he is. Another Andy Ruiz. He's short, chubby. Dude can box. Andy Konoski can box, man. And this what tripped me out the first time I seen him at the MGM. I'm looking at TV. I say, damn, I seen Charles Martin. This dude is fucking up Charles Martin. Like, damn. Like, is Charles that bad or whatever? So then I see Andy Konoski at the MGM. He comes out. And I'm about 6'3", right? Andy Konoski is just a little bit taller than me. I was like, WTF? What the? I thought this little pudgy dude was short and oh, he's a little bit taller than me. And then Charles Martin came out the door. So we all right there talking at the door. Charles Martin standing right to my left, and Konoski's in the front. Charles Martin is a solid, like a 6'6", I think 6'6", 6'7". He's tall. And Konoski, I got a chance to see both of them standing next to each other. I was like, damn, Konoski beat you, Charles? Like, wow, this dude can box. But yeah, Konoski is due to step back in there with Robert Helenius. Y'all pay a close attention to that, man. I like Filipino coaches. For real. They go hard. Yeah, man. They do, man. Like I had a lot of my neighbors that was Filipinos, man. Man, they know how them are the best. Nobody else throws a party. Now the Mexican fan base might say they do. No. Filipinos hand down throw the best fight parties that you ever witness. You would think it's Thanksgiving all the time. If they have, I'm talking about not just any fight boy. I'm talking about a Filipino fighter that's known. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think they even did it when Mike Plania fought Josh Greer. Even though Plania came out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? They probably still throw a party. But ultimately, Manny Pacquiao, shit, you can cancel it. They getting off work early. They up there preparing them, the dinner and everything, hours ahead of time. They get it in. And it'd be good. I'm talking about whole fish. Of course, they have some Filipino dishes over there, but yeah, not to get anybody too hungry. But yeah, Robert Helenius will face Andy Konoski. I'm very much looking forward to that fight. Man, you wouldn't believe I'm looking forward to that right there. I don't know if you heard, but what's his name? Ioka. If I'm saying his name right, hold on. He's fighting Tanaka. Ioka is the champion right now. All right. I just don't want to mispronounce his name. But he's fighting Tanaka. Tanaka is attempting. Tanaka is only 15-0, I believe. And his opponent is 25-2. I'm trying to pull him up right now as we speak. I don't want to say the wrong record. I put this on my IG, matter of fact. So you have Tanaka versus Ioka. Ioka Wakata? Wakanamasen. Genki desu ka? So Ioka versus Tanaka. Ioka is 25-2 and Tanaka is 15-0. This is contended at the 115 super flyweight, man. And the crazy thing about this, right, that no one's really gonna pay attention to after it's all over with, is that Tanaka is trying to earn his fourth weight division world championship in only 16 fights. He'll be the first ever. He's trying to accomplish 4 weight divisions in just 16 fights. Unbelievable. Now, of course, only the hardcore fans are going to look at this like an extreme compliment, right? They're going to commend him for that. But a lot of them going to frown. He'll give a fuck about it. No, you got to give a fuck about the lower weight classes. You do, man. You do. You have to give a fuck about the lower weight classes. And this is one of those deals where they're contending for the WBO championship. Ioka is the champion, and Tanaka is challenging. That's what's up. King Mitch in the building, man. Salute to you. Say come back. What's up? Shout to the chat. You know what it is. Appreciate everybody that's in the building. Appreciate you. just putting y'all comments up here. I gotta make sure I keep the damn supporters, man, on Front Street, man. Let the people know who tuned in. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me go up here. Let me go up here and change that to that right there. There we go. There we go. I got you. Gotta put my overlay up here too. But as I was saying, man, it's a lot in store, y'all. Y'all definitely have to pay attention. You know, just pay attention to what's going on. Also, I want to talk about a situation that's going down with the super middleweight division. Okay, so Canelo Alvarez is scheduled to fight Abner Yildirim in February, right? And after that, Billy Joe Sanders potentially. In the meanwhile, as they say in the interim, Caleb Plant will be fighting Caleb Truax. Listen, don't expect too much after that. I mean, don't expect too much from that fight with Caleb Plant and Caleb Truax. It's not going to be anything spectacular, man. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, Caleb Plant going in there, and I say the fight will probably, you're looking at a Truax who's around 30, what, 38, 37, 38 right now. Former world champion. I know he had beat the gal, and then fought him again and lost the title. So he has another opportunity to step in here with Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, I believe right now is 28 years old. So I don't foresee Caleb Plant having any problem with Caleb Truax. Real talk. But what is crazy, y'all, is that when I drove up to Nashville for Sweet Hands to fight Vincent Feigenboots, no cap, I drove in the area where that bomb was ignited. I know exactly where that's at. When I saw it on TV, I was like, God damn. Why was that, exploded? Why was that bomb even placed there? What's going on? What's the deal? Why in Tennessee? But anyway, damn. Shout out to Sweet Hand Caleb Plant, man, because look, he gets through Caleb Truax. It's the battle of the Calebs, but really it isn't. It sounds good, but it's no competition. And also I have to tell you about what's going to be next for David Benavidez. A lot of people riding David Benavidez out the picture because Canelo Alvarez scooped up his WBC belt, but don't do that. Keep him in the picture because it'll probably be near the end of the year, but expect him to come back in to get that work with a big name. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be back in March, potentially for a fight with Ellis. This guy named Ronald Ellis. If that is indeed the case, that gets signed, scheduled, or whatever. I know you're saying Ronald Ellis, but he's really looking forward to stepping there with a big name near the end of the year. Now it's been back and forth contentions in between him and Caleb Plant. I would hope that fight happen, but Caleb Plant has Truax. Let's see if they able to schedule a fight later on 2021. And then with Canelo Alvarez, I already told you that, but it would be good if he had David Benavidez on the calendar other than Billy Joe Saunders. And for the hardcore fight fans, they say, well, why not go over there and try to get the WBO belt? I get it. But I'm just saying, David Benavidez would be a good fight for Canelo Alvarez. Really good fight. Really good fight. Now, for those who tune into the IG, I put this out here, right? I put it out there that Edgar Berlanga And I like him. I have no reason except to like Edgar Berlanga. He's doing what a lot of cats want to do. He's coming in here and he's on a motherfucking knockout streak. And he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's setting it ablaze each and every time he's out. He knocked out my boy Eric Moon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Dead Game Boxing. Say first time ever salute. Salute, man. Salute to Dead Game Boxing in the building. Put King Mish. Miller deserved much worse. He might feed on a couple of those names. Yeah, for real. But peep this out though, right? So I mentioned on IG, I put a post up and I said, if Edgar Berlanga stepped in there with David Benavidez in 21, he would get murdered. I say he will fuck Edgar Berlanga up. And some of Edgar Berlanga's people, I guess whoever they was like, say it to his face. I said, there's no need for me to say it to his face because last time I checked, he's a licensed professional, right? So being that I'm media and I'm voicing an opinion, what you need to do is go take your estrogen tablets and sit down and make sure you change that one out. It might be a little bit too soggy for you. And then get some rest. You know what I'm saying? Go drink some soy milk, to control your chemical balance so you can calm down. Because how can you be so hyped up off Edgar Berlanga, who hasn't made it out of the first round, but yet the commentators and the critics are saying the same exact thing that I'm saying, that he needs work on his boxing. How is he going to fare when it's time for him to box? 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds. Is he going to learn on the job? Is he that good and we don't know? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying right there. What do we need to know about Edgar Berlanga when he steps in there with a fight like David Benavidez? I don't think he's ready yet. So give him the middle of 2022 and give him an opponent that works. They're still trying to build up. That's not too experienced like Benavidez. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, Benavidez hasn't been in boxing a whole entire length of time that we could say. He was one of the youngest champions at one time, right? But yeah, we're not talking about Benavidez. We're talking about somebody else that's actually experienced in coming up through the ranks. Like he's just a little bit higher than the opponents that he's been stepping in there with. That's what we're talking about. Somebody that's a step up. There's not a soft touch. I don't know if they're gonna give him a top 15 next, 10, whatever. But we're curious to see how it all goes down. I wanted that y'all hear that Canelo may indeed get another shot for a trilogy with Triple G. Canelo Alvarez. Oh my God, every time I think about this shit, man, shit get inflamed and I get agitated and I want to go to the doctor. They may potentially fight. If not the end of 2021, 2022, I believe. Well, we may indeed see a Canelo Alvarez and Triple G finale. Done. Over. I hope that is indeed the case. That's all I'm going to talk about that. For the heavyweight division, I know Dan Pugmire came out with an article and said potentially that we would not see a Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. And they're talking about potentially, Anthony Joshua dropping his WBO belt. Of course, he feels he can always come back and scoop that up because of who's the recipient. If Alexander Usyk becomes a recipient, he knows he gets 2 decent paydays. You know what I'm saying? To fight Anthony Joshua, if indeed he fights somebody for the vacant, whatever the case, or elevated, whatever. And they come back, but they're trying their best to get that Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight. We haven't heard anything as of yet on the surface of media. But I will tell you this, that they're still trying to put Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua together. And then in the process of Deontay Wilder still being in litigation with Tyson Fury, I'm hoping still that Deontay is able to fight that trilogy. Me and many other people are hoping that he's able to step up, both of them guys, and contend once again for a much needed trilogy between the heavyweights, the top two heavyweights in the world right now. All right. The top two heavyweights in the world right now. We want to see them fight. Real talk. We want to see them fight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got to make it happen. When that's going to be, I don't know. But if you want to know a little bit more about, finally Sugar Hill coming out the crevice of that cave that he was in over wherever he was, Barbershop Conversation had Sugar Hill on. And, just like I thought of him, this guy was very vague in his answers. I know he was under a freaking, strict line of fire with the questions from certain members that over there on Barbershop Conversations. And every bit of it he deserved, in my opinion. I even dropped a couple of questions myself, to the point where when they asked him about the network, the cameras being unplugged, he said he didn't know, he was looking at TV. They asked him about the gloves. They said the commission was there. So a lot of his answers didn't jive up with me because I paid attention to what his words was. But he was over there getting drilled, and I enjoyed every minute of it. But shout out to Tay Jones, man. I saw you over there, killer. Tay Jones, member of Team Bomb Squad, came up there and let it be known that shit, we're going to be there. We're going to see you at the fight. And the expression on his face was all about, the person that look at you and you on, you have an open debt to them, but they're not really putting hands on you right there. You know what I'm saying? They just like, yeah, man. Not today, but I'll see you. We'll cross paths sooner or later. He's like, nah, man, handle that shit now. I mean, what we got? No. We good. We're gonna see each other. Don't worry about it. No, make no mistake about it. Tay Jones was making the point that Team Wild is definitely gonna get that retribution. That's all I can say. And all Sugar Hill did was just look at him, but Tay didn't say too much. He said just enough to get his point across. And it was goddamn blazing. Motherfucking, he sent the arrows over there and shit with the dark frog poison on the tip on him, and say, shit, that's just a little bit something to keep you all woozy until we see you next time. He was questioning about the gloves. He was questioning about the sparring where, his training partner said, Tyson Fury removed the cushion of the gloves. I mean, all that shit was being asked over there. All of it. But it was good. Just check out the interview, man. Shout out to Fred, Barbershop Conversation. Check out the interview, man. Check it out. So, lastly, I'm always getting this input from certain individuals when I talk about it. I got to talk about what happened recently between Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. Okay. So, people was talking to me, asking questions about, why did Terrence Crawford lowball Sean Porter? I said, so when you say lowball, just give me a figure on what you consider lowball. Give me a reference point comparable to the numbers as to why they should be higher or lower. He said, well, there's no way that's Sean Porter. He don't deserve no $1 million, man. I said, so what are you gauging off of? Let's talk. He said, well, Sean Porter, he is fighting Sebastian Famella. He got about, 4.55 million. I said, no, the hell he didn't. I mean, are we talking about you on the floor playing Monopoly? Or what are you talking about? So he didn't get no 4.55 million for fighting Sebastian Formella. It don't matter if he was a former world champion or not. He did not get it. So come to find out, he made a little bit over a million, 1.5. You know, Formella was under that monetary ruler, right? So I said to myself, so just say Sean Porter got 1.5. So he's walking in here to Terrence Crawford fighting a former world champion. Is $1 million a lowball offer, in my opinion? Partially, yeah. In my opinion, I agree. Because Sean Porter has stepped in there with champions. He has ran the gauntlet with Kell Brook, Keith Thurman. Come on, man. Even Danny Garcia, if I choose to mention it. Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? He is not yet to face Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford. But he has been in there with some pretty decent names, right? So what should be the numbers that's offered to Terrence Crawford? Should it be an even 2? Because we just seen Teofimo Lopez, fighting the top pound for pound. He negotiated to a 2 million even. What is a wholesome, fair number for Sean Porter to get this fight with Terrence Crawford? What is it? What's going on, Milo? How you feel, bro? It's a bigger comeback. Triple G versus Munguia set for May 2021. Munguia has a chance. Yeah, I seen that fight, man. And, that's one of those fights where both of those fighters, I don't care for too much, but more so Triple G than Munguia, because Munguia has did what Munguia does. He came up 54-60 under the radar, got a title. Who's going to give him credit for Saddam Ali, man? But anyway, that fight right there is going to turn out to be a pretty decent fight. Because obviously for Munguia, he gets to step in there against who a lot of people are going to call a legend in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Legend, Gennady Golovkin. He get to step in there with a big name in boxing and one of the biggest names in the middleweight division. So it's going to happen. Whatever. Back to this shit with Terrence Crawford. So I'm like, tell me what number is adequate to be placed up for negotiation between Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford? Or do you even care to speak on it? Because what the fight we want to see is all about the fight we want to see. You know what I'm saying? But what the good news, since I am in the 47 division, y'all drop your comments in there now. The good news is the fact that I'm hearing that a lot of people are saying that Errol Spence should not take the fight with Canelo Alvarez, which is great. I like that. I don't think he should either. I think he should take the fights at the welterweight division and continue to clean, sanitize that area right there. If you're able to successfully come undisputed, then you have all the rights of moving up to 54. Now, if you choose to at 54, take one fight, kind of get your feet, both feet and hands in the door and see how it feels. Check the temperature and climate. Then you can potentially, if you choose, to try to set up a fight with Canelo Alvarez if he still has you anywhere close to consideration. Because right now, I haven't heard Canelo even really consider Errol Spence as a future opponent. To be honest, I would definitely like to see Jamal Charlo before Errol Spence. I'm being absolutely honest. Period. So I hope that fight doesn't happen. I hope that fight doesn't happen at all. If the Porter offer was a take it or leave it kind of deal, I have to consider the low ball. Yeah, I agree with that. If it was a take it or leave it, I agree. Munguia has a chance. It may look like Pac versus Horn. Munguia hits clean a lot. Triple G is past his prime. Hey, what I can say about this, Mitch, in the last fight with Triple G, and what's his name, Zarameda, I think that was his name. He was moving his head. There was times in there where he was actually slipping punches, and I was like, "Cool, Triple G. I mean, I'm still not the fighter that really cheered Triple G on, but he was moving his head. He was landing some pretty solid combinations. And I felt that he carried that guy a good little bit as long as it could have been. Because I think he could have finished that. Really, he could have finished that 3 rounds ago, 3 or 4 rounds ago. In my, I mean, it just felt like he was carrying that guy. But yeah, at 160 right now, hell no, Spence shouldn't fight Canelo. Do it correct and see Canelo in late 2022. I agree, man. Just hold tight, do it the right way. Don't start making no, impulsive decisions, man. Be thorough, in your decision making process. Be thorough with it. Thorough to me is absolute getting the prize. Make the decision and earn the prize. Like Teofimo Lopez, they made the decisions. Though it was tough, they made the decisions to earn the prize. So that's how you do it. So Errol Spence need to earn another prize. He has 2 belts already. Earn the next prize, man. Whether it's Pacquiao or Terrence Crawford. Earn the prize. Don't fight nobody else except the champion. We are tired. We are super tired. That's a good point. Good point. Good point. Let me put them up there. Let me put them up there for sure. Appreciate everybody who made them comments and dropped that input. Real talk. Salute to you. Yeah, I'm back. So, one of the bigger questions is what's going to be going down with 154. We still don't know what's going to be popping with that, but I'm not even going to touch on that tonight because it's kind of irrelevant right now. It's not much activity. You don't show signs of activity up there right now because we have the Patrick Teixeira for Brian Castano. It's not too much activity, so I'm gonna leave that shit alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. But what's gonna be interesting, to say the least, moving up to bring in the New Year's, right, is my boy Gilberto Ramirez, Zerto. Hey, this guy, believe it or not, I interviewed him in Texas, right? And I know, he was in the process of being in litigation by his contract with Top Rank, man. This dude is undefeated. A lot of people don't know about freaking Zerto. For real, man. This dude is tall, slender. He can box like a mother. You don't know what his record is. 41-0, 27 knockouts, y'all. 41-0, 27 knockouts. You want to know how long he held the title when he was super middleweight? 3 years. This dude is a freaking problem. And you know who he wants? He wants Demetrius Bivol, and he wants Artur Beaver. Hey, look, I used to call him Better Beef, but I think his name is Beterbiev. So he won't Bivol and Beterbiev. You know what I'm saying? I guess they have them competing in a WBO 4-man tournament in the light heavyweight division. That'll be great. Look forward to him picking up a belt in the light heavyweight division. I guarantee it. Gilberto Ramirez will be champion soon. It's only a matter of time. I just can't wait if he fight Bivol or Beterbiev. Yeah, that's gonna be real nice. Beterbiev, 15-0, 15 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that he won't. Bivol, 17-0, 11 knockouts. Talk to me now. That's just gonna be nice. But of course, you had some other people along the way, but I'm not worried about that when it comes to Zerto, man. Zerto is a problem. Anybody who knows in that weight class knows that he's a problem. Shout out to Brian Norman Jr. Of course, you saw the thumbtack, the thumbnail. Shout out to Team Williams Jr. Man, 150 boy wonder, and the whole team. Shout out to them. Real talk. Um, I'm not gonna talk about the Joshua debacle. I'm just gonna leave that to a different date, man. I'm not gonna talk about Anthony Joshua, Alexander Povetkin, his extended COVID shit. I'm not gonna talk about it. But I will say this though. I will bring up Amir Khan. Amir Khan is hilarious. Amir Khan, man, disappointed me so much when we was in NYC. When he was due to face Terrence Crawford, he wouldn't even come out into the public and just basically communicate, interact with us, man. He was ghost the entire time until they had the damn press conference. He would not even come out and show love to the motherfucking fans, dog. So now Amir Khan is talking about Kell Brook. It's time to put him in his place. If there's ever a fighter who I wants to see sunbathing under the lights with the referee fanning them down, 3, 4, 5, and Jack Reese come over from the 3. No, Jack. No, you're supposed to pick up the count. Yeah, I'm picking up my own count for the spirit of the boxing. Fuck that. Get out my face. So anyway, if it's any boxer I want to see reclined up under the lights again for quitting against Terrence Crawford, but people dogged Terrence Crawford out for it, and that was Amir Khan. That was Amir Khan, y'all. He quit. I'm sitting up there, I actually got approved for media passes that day. I'm looking through my camera, and I say, man, Terrence Crawford giving Amir Khan. He had already knocked him down, y'all. He giving Amir Khan the business. He's giving them the business. And then when Amir Khan seized the opportunity when he was punched on the thigh, he wouldn't even turn around and face Crawford. Amir Khan just faced outward, looking into the fans, and he would not turn around to face his demon. His demon was adversity. Can you go back in there and face your demon? He did not do it. He quit. So he's trying to say, I want to put Kell Brook in his place. Okay, go ahead, Amir Khan. Because either way, I don't care about that fight. So go ahead. You and Kell Brook want to settle the score. Go right ahead. Cool. No problemo. Go right ahead. If Canelo offers Spence 10 to 12 million and he take it, I can't trip. Listen, Shawty. Listen, Shawty. Listen. If Canelo offers Spence 10 to 12 million, I will be on here like I guess I'm gonna be doing more research and can't wait to call that Spence Canelo fight. And by the way, I need to make some phone calls so I can try to get media credentials, please. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. 10 to 12 million is absolutely feasible. And trust me, it is fair. Real talk. It is fair. EJ just wants to cash out against Canelo and call it a career. That fight will set his family up for life. It will, man. It will set his family up for life. And that's the narrative that's floating around in the media waves, man. That he's trying to cash out because he planned on getting out of boxing. Hey, I hope he has those businesses set up. To be honest, I doubt Spencer's looking to retire. He just acknowledged that a Canelo fight would be big. I don't see Spence being in here until he's 37, 38. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I hope I'm right. I hope he's not over here extending his time, man. I doubt Spencer's looking to retire. He just want now Khan want to fight Brook. Yeah. Khan want to put Brook in his place. That's what Khan said. He's the disciplinary now. He is the killer. Khan said he wants to put Kell Brook in his place. These two has had I don't want to be freaking facetious and say a damn contentious fetish between one another, but they don't like each other. They have had disagreements. And I guess now Amir Khan feels like coming off that knockout loss against Terrence Crawford, it's time for him to step in and try to get a knockout. You know what I'm saying? Like he sees the guy he quit against, and he say, "You know what, team? What you think, team? Should I just tell me, team? You know, like he got some confidence seeing Kell Brook get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like they gave him confidence, so therefore he steps in there, and now he want to say he want to make a fight with Kell Brook. Anyway, I'm done with that." Milo say Khan versus Brook 5 years too late. Looking at it like EJ versus Bud would be the same. Oh my God. Did he just mention EJ and Bud? That is a cocktail from hell. Oh my God. You know what? EJ and Bud, right? And remember I said it first. It should be a cocktail they serve in a boxing town in Texas, right? It's called EJ versus Bud. And that shit should be a 50-cent cocktail with very minimal alcohol in it. Seriously, very minimal alcohol. Because therefore, if it's too much alcohol in the shot, you might start to feel a little good and then say, "Shit." You see other people around you say, "Hey, who you think the best welterweight is right now?" They ask you that leading question, right? Who do you think is the best welterweight right now? You, you're. It don't matter. Well, let me see. Probably Keith Thurman. Okay. Hey, bartender, don't serve them idiots nothing more. Okay. I'm cutting them off. Don't serve them another drink. What about you, man? Who you think the best? Well, I think Bud Crawford. Oh, for real? Okay. All right. What about you? Errol Spence. So you think that fight ever happened? Um, just hold that thought. Hey, get them two more shots. Yeah, them dollar shots. Give it to them. Give them two, matter of fact, two apiece. Get me four. Take them to the head, man. Ain't that much in there. Take them to the head. So what you think now? Y'all did the four shots, man. That was just complimentary on me. You know what I'm saying? Since I'm here visiting. But what y'all think about that? Y'all think we're gonna get Errol Spence and Bud? Well, they've been talking about this forever. I think yeah. I think we might get it in 2046. That's about right, babe. We're gonna get in 2046. Is he out the hospital yet? Yeah, he been out the hospital, man. Okay. If he comes back and he's healthy, we don't know how that is. Who they gonna have him fight? Just tell me who they gonna have him fight. They gonna have him top 25, ranked 25 guy. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? He gonna fight Danny Garcia. Oh shit. Motherfucking cherry picker? Okay, cool. But what about the fight between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence? Do you think it'll happen? Any give him another shot. You think it'll happen anytime in the next 5 years? Nothing? Okay, cool. So I don't think it's gonna happen in the next 5 years. I think it's gonna happen sometime soon, but I am absolutely found nothing joyous to talk about this fight of the games that's being played back and forth. So listen, I hope Terrence Crawford fights Sean Porter. All right. I do hope that fight is made pretty quickly. But check this out. Errol Spence just defeated Danny Garcia via decision. If Terrence Crawford goes the distance with Sean Porter, then what is it going to prove if Errol Spence went the distance too? What you gonna do? Start extracting knockdowns? What is it gonna mean exactly? What is it gonna mean? If Terrence Crawford goes to distance with Sean Porter, how does it fudge, or how does it build any more of his credentials for a fight with Errol Spence? It does absolutely nothing. Unless he's able to drop Sean Porter, unless he's able to stop Sean Porter. Seriously, if he's able to stop Sean Porter, then we're talking about a whole nother land. It's going to be very difficult to lay those numbers out there. See, Errol Spence is liable to jump in the ring. Well, yeah, he stopped him. He could, I couldn't stop him, but he's still getting 60. I mean, let me see, he's 720. 70-20 for real, Spence. Yeah, 60. He gets 60. Spence gonna get on there and say some crazy shit. But I don't think if he go in there and stop Porter, I truly believe. Damn. It's tough though. Part of me say 60-40, no doubt. And a part of me say 50-50. Because if you giving him a common opponent than Errol Spence, and he does it better than Errol Spence just can't come out here and say so. That's just me. They just can't come out here and say so. They have to have some give. It's some give and take, but you have to have some give to give him credit if he fights a common opponent. Now, you want to hear something crazy? Errol Spence just did what Sean Porter was able to do with Danny Garcia. More punishment, but Errol Spence was able to do exactly what Sean Porter did to Danny Garcia. He went to the final bell. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's typical Danny Garcia. That he went to the final bell, right? So he gets nothing different. There's no enhancement of his credentials, his badges, or none of that. He went the distance with Danny Garcia, the same as Sean Porter. The only difference in that trio is that he defeated Sean Porter first. Okay. There's nothing real big to talk about except the knockdown. When they fought, that's it. But between them two equally, Danny Garcia made it to the final bell. That's what we're looking at. But Sean Porter, who was never down against Danny Garcia, he was never down. He was down in the 11th against Errol Spence. He was never down against Keith Thurman. So I look at it like this. If Bud Crawford can stop, because if he drop him, okay, Errol Spence has dropped Sean Porter too. But if he stops him, that sends a message, and people might want to begin to reconsider the 50-50. Because I truly believe if he stops Sean Porter the first time ever, if he's able to stop him, I truly believe it brings him closer to a 50-50 fight, even if he don't have the WBA title. Because if we want to do comparisons of opponents, we should absolutely place that on the curriculum as a graded assignment. We should absolutely do that. Stop building up Spence and stop diluting everything that's across the board on the distant end with his opposition. That's what I think about that. If he stops Sean Porter, I'm not talking too much about getting a knockdown, but if he stops him, then we should be talking about something else. Black and Brown Boxing, what's good? Salute, brother. I finally got here. I appreciate Black and Brown for pulling up. Kind of local sports, salute to you. What's good, man? Brooke will have more confidence versus Khan, though. Yeah, I agree, Mitch. I agree with that. Put these comments up here. But I'm just curious to see what happens with that, man. See if Terrence Crawford gets the fight and makes it happen. You know what I'm saying? We really want to see that. But I really didn't. Oh, matter of fact, I wanted to tell you all to make sure you check out the MMA awards. Via the UFC awards that's going to happen really soon. They have some nice awards being handed out to some of the women, female elite that made it happen. Also the male elite, and we're looking forward to a fight. I got to touch for it. It's been a while since I touched on mixed martial arts, but I got to. All right, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier is set to contend for the 155-pound division. I think. I think the title is going to be interim. I think because Khabib Nurmagomedov is retired right now. Because his pops passed away. They was very, very close. I would have yearned to have a relationship like he did with his father. He really respected his father like his father was his kid, everything about it, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is supposed to be one of the biggest fights to lead up and introduce 2020. This fight right here is two individuals who have met in the past, and we're talking about Conor McGregor getting the better of Dustin Poirier when he was still in the development phases. But like I told you so many times before, the legendary run that Conor McGregor was able to do. Legendary. On him fighting Dennis Silver. Bro, you have no idea. Boom, washed him. Chad Mendez, Team Alpha Male. Washed him. He gets the 145-pound shot at featherweight, washes Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. You know why? Because he had used psych jitsu. At that time, Conor McGregor was a white belt. Let's just talk about the first 4 belts that are super deadly. And every freaking professor has their own belt system. We talking about white, blue, purple, brown. Conor was basically a white belt back then, right? He knocked out Jose Aldo with psych jitsu. He had fucked his head up so much, disrespecting him so much. By the time they stepped in the ring, Jose just wanted to land and put his hands on his chin, and he got caught. Conor's a counterpuncher. Boom. He dispersed of Jose Aldo. Picks up the featherweight belt, his first championship, moves up to 170. Faces Nate Diaz. Very hostile promo leading up to that. Goes in there. And people underestimate Nate Diaz's boxing. Went in there and tapped into that gas tank with Conor McGregor. Had him breathing hard. And all of a sudden, desperately, he shot in. Oh, my God. He shot in on the BJJ black belt, Cesar Gracie train. Black belt, Cesar Gracie train. Trained by Cesar Gracie. Cesar Gracie train. Conor McGregor shot for a double because he was exhausted. Nate Diaz probably laughed inside. You're dead. Conor was out of his element. It wasn't long. He sunk in the RNC, choked him out. He choked him out in the second round, y'all. So Dana White said, of course, hey, Conor's my cash cow. Legendary. Listen to me, y'all, before y'all leave. Listen to this legendary shit. Nate Diaz defeats Conor McGregor. But Conor McGregor does not lose his 145-pound belt. You know what was crazy? They fought at 170 pounds, y'all. He went from 145 up to 170 welterweight. That is the shit damn near what Gary Russell Jr. was attempting to do by challenging Terrence Crawford. Absolutely. 145 pounds. He went up to 170 pounds and lost. Came back to the rematch because Dana White made sure he got them signed that shit. He went the distance with Nate Diaz and won. Granted, he's still the featherweight title holder, 145 pounds. Dana said, okay. He said, Dana, you know I'm good for. I'm the Irish Cream Notorious One. Who the fuck is that? I'm coming for the 155-pound title. Eddie Alvarez. He called Eddie Alvarez out. Dana White set the fight up. Eddie Alvarez has been a champion in every division he's competed in. Now Conor McGregor is attempting to do what no other fighter has done in MMA. Period. He is attempting to become a 2-division champ simultaneously in the same time. 2 divisions. He goes down and fight Eddie Alvarez at 155-pound lightweight division, and he defeats him via knockout. During that time, he's kind of fucking around, talking shit about Floyd Mayweather. Ronda Rousey had already been out there. Somehow, some way, her team let her get reckless. You talking about a judoka, freaking Olympian, coming out here challenging Floyd Mayweather to a boxing match. Talking about she'd beat him with one hand behind her back. Okay, so therefore, Conor McGregor hops on the train and start fucking with Floyd Mayweather to get a fight. So I get to a point where a lot of people are catching on to it. Floyd probably called Conor up, say, hey, I like what you're doing out there. A lot of people catch on to this fight. You're a 2-division champion. We're going to fight for hundreds of millions. Keep doing what you're doing, champ. All right? Keep doing what you do. If you want to insult, go ahead and insult. You better not drop that N-word, though, else I have to send my people over there. You understand? All right. Then goddamn talk as much shit you want. Conor went on a tangent, talking shit. Finally, the motherfucker came out. Conor McGregor will challenge undefeated Floyd Money Mayweather. So at first, people was like, oh, man, that's fucked up. How is he challenging Floyd Mayweather? How is he Conor McGregor challenging Floyd Mayweather? He has no professional fights. He's 0-0. But what they didn't understand at the time was this man was a 2-division champion, the first to ever do it. They didn't know the legendary run that he just completed. From 45 to 70, 2 fights up, back down to 55. Legendary shit. I ain't gonna lie. And that's legendary shit. For him to have the cojones to fight at 170 from 45 is something I've seen before, but that's kind of the way I look at freaking sports. I'm like, I've seen dudes move up in weight and take on in bigger weight classes, and Conor McGregor was one of those guys who was sucking the shit, looked like a skeleton with skin when he was cutting 145. But he started calling Floyd out. The rest is history. He went over there. He was pulled in the 10, but he made hundreds of millions. He would never make as a mixed martial artist. He never defended a single title. It took them over a year to get Conor McGregor to come back to the sport. What he was able to do in the sport was legendary. The risk that he took to fight, even in loss, his people still congratulate him for taking the risk. The Irish people, the country of Ireland, oh man, they loved him. They said, okay, you lost, but we're gonna be here for you when you return. They found out he had a rematch with Nate. Boom, went in there, beat him, set up the fight. Boom, he's back in the good graces of his country that never left him. And now Floyd Mayweather comes into the scene. We're talking about the number 2. Let me put the receipts up there, people. Let me get to some of these. Kind of local sports in the building. Milo say, Loma say he can't get a rematch. He's aggressive. Go for Tank. I'm gonna talk on that. D-Ray, salute WCS. Appreciate you, D-Ray. 21 strong, D-Ray, salute. Hey, check this out though. Let me drop a receipt down here right quick because I want you to see something. how genius Floyd Mayweather was. Let me see if that's the right one. Nope, that's not the right one. Okay, this is the right one. Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, 5.17 million. Jesus Christ. PPV now. $100 PPV. Look at the buys on that. That's unfreaking believable. $100 per PPV. And they was able to get over 5 million buys, man. Oh my God. That is unfucking believable. But anyway, remember I told you first, if Conor McGregor goes in here and defeat Dustin Poirier, it's going to set up possibly, remember I told you this, Manny Pacquiao is trying to fight Conor McGregor. But I hope it doesn't happen because Manny may either one beat Conor McGregor, make him look stupid, or Conor McGregor end up knocking him out. Conor McGregor does have power. He does. He's a calm, composed, patient assassin. He is. So if he's able to win his lightweight title again, for one, it's gonna set up a fight, another fight between him and Khabib Nurmagomedov that will probably turn sometime in the middle to late 2021. That's gonna be a huge fight. But also, they're trying to make a fight with a boxer and a mixed martial artist once again. And that name will not be Carissa Shields. So let's get that straight. Not yet, anyway. But I like what Scott Coker said. Scott Coker is a president over at Bellator. I like what he said. Scott Coker had mentioned that we have no problem having, our guys fight boxing, compete in boxing. But also, if we're going to make the fight, why don't we have a boxer come over here to MMA? And what he does, he has a very solid point he's making, right? But make no mistake, it'll be detrimental. I'm serious. Like, let's get that understood. Like, that would be seriously a problem, y'all. So I don't think it's a good idea for a boxer to compete in a mixed martial arts cage just because Scott Coker said so. I don't think that's a good idea. Because once you see a boxer go over there who's planning on contending, see, Scott Coker has to understand this. Boxing allows you to stand and use your hands, in which these mixed martial artists, they train boxing, believe it or not, with boxing coaches, most of them. But when you basically sublease a boxer into the cage, what it does is, if there are rules that allow the mixed martial artist to attack below the waist, then this boxer may potentially not be the same once he returned to the sport of boxing. Because unless these fighters are giving an order and they respect the order, they're going to kick the shit out of these boxers' legs. So those boxers, if they don't know how to check a kick, they can keep distance all they want. It doesn't matter. But I say, the mixed martial artists could partially feint, fake like they're gonna throw some kicks, change levels, get in for a single double, and just take them down, man. Get inside control and sub them. Long as it's one of those soft subs, not too much an aggressive sub that, elbow may be dislocated, or a knee bar. If a mixed martial artist places any type of knee bar, heel hook, any type of the brutal, submissions on a fighter coming from boxing, they must not like that boxer, because they're gonna do some damage, and that boxer's gonna have a hard time going back over to the sport. Believe that. So I hope that doesn't happen. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I really hope it doesn't happen, But Scott Coker has to understand that that's not even a fair deal right there. Okay. So therefore, we might see a pretty decent fight with Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao. I think that'll be pretty decent numbers. I don't see it breaking into the top 5 or the top PPV, but it might do decent numbers. And the only reason I say it'll do decent numbers because of the fan base of Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people don't think he will win, of course, because he is 41 years old, 42. The names are there. It's popularity. To caveat off names, I know you have seen the buffoonery that's going on with Logan Paul, who's supposed to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. There's chatter, y'all. It's chatter going around that the size difference of Logan Paul, it's just scuttlebutt out there that he's going to try anything to put Mayweather in a position to make him look bad. Because if he's able to put Mayweather in a position of adversity or vulnerability, it's gonna be his stock to step in there with somebody else. So if he can make our one of our best champs of this era take a knee, cut him, any of that, even if the fight is stopped because Logan Paul cut him, he's still gonna leave that fight and be like, "Yeah, I fucked up the best that y'all had out here. And who's next?" And then you're going to be getting fighters that can actually box and is active and say, "Okay, I'm next. I'm next." Because Jake Paul, the younger brother, was supposed to fight Ben Askren. And they was talking about that fight was made, but Ben Askren just mentioned that Jake Paul backed out the fight. So who's next? It better not be Steph Curry. I'll tell you that. They better not come up and making no fight with no Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? It better not be another motherfucking fighter that's light in the ass stepping in here with Jake Paul, who we already know that can box pretty decent. From what I heard, he up there being trained by Jalen Love. Actual boxers out there at TMT Gym. So we need to get somebody in there against Jake Paul that looks, like the kitty cat, but really a lion, like a panther. We got to fool this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Put somebody in there that don't have too much tape on them, so they can fuck Jake Paul up. Yeah, we got to set it up. We have to set up the perfect opponent for Jake Paul. What we need is a cat like Cassius Clay Collard. See, Clay Collard is one of them dudes that look all regular and shit, that go to Cracker Barrel twice a day just to eat with the family and stuff like that. But he can fight. Seriously, he can fight. Yeah, man. That's just a little FYI on what's going on. I know you don't want to hear it, but I got to report on it. You know why? You know why people seriously, you know why I'm reporting on Jake Paul and Logan Paul? Because I've made it a point to ask fighters. And I've asked some legends too. I said, "What do you all think?" Listen to me, y'all. I said, "What do you all think about this Jake Paul knocking out freaking Nate Robinson and then Logan Paul getting a fight with Floyd Mayweather?" Just judging the state of boxing, judging from the state of boxing and everything. I'm asking these boxers, what do you think? Most of them said, "Man, I ain't mad at him. Get the bag. I ain't mad at him." So if the boxers are not upset or feeling some type of way, it's not rubbing them the wrong way or nothing. How can I get on here and talk down on when the boxers are saying, "Hey, man, I ain't mad at him. Get the bag, man. Get the bag." They're not worried about how the sport is looking when you have social media entities, not even physical specimens, but they're coming over here getting fights that certain individuals that's been trained the amateurs and fighting they ass off up to the profession, they would never get the shot. It's a little bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. I'm not gonna lie, people. It's a bit crazy for me to even think about like that. Shout out to Franchon Cruz Dezern. She's gonna be on. You know, she's the WBC, I believe, WBO titleist, and at super middleweight, and she will be stepping in there to defend those titles. She had her stint with a man they call Jimenez. I mean, a woman they call Jimenez, and tested positive. But she looked and sounded like a freaking man. Everybody and their mama, including freaking newborn babies, knew Jimenez was on some freaking juice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that shit. And it's the fact that the WBC took forever to give Franchise her belt back was just distasteful. Finally, they gave her belt back. At first, they was telling her she gonna have to fight to get her belt back. And she lost to her opponent that popped dirty. So the WBO did what was right. WBC like, no, you got to fight for it, which was an absolute bullshit, man. They ended up giving them the belt back though. Lastly, I don't know if you've seen, but Adrian Broner's back in camp, people. What you feeling? What you feeling on that? Adrian Broner back in camp. Yeah, about billions. Back in camp, man. Talk to me. That's the talk of the town. Talk to me. Come on, man. I know King Mitch, 21 Strong, D-Ray. Man, I know y'all got something to say about Adrian Broner is back in camp. With who? You got some heavy hitters. You got Xander Zayas down there. You got Daniel Jacobs. You got Javante Davis, Richard Hitchens. You got a bunch of people in camp down there. That's a lot of motivation, man, for Adrian Broner. He said he don't drop 57, 58 pounds already. Mitch, stop. Stop, Mitch. Stop, bro. I know it's humor to bring us over to 21. Steph would get his ass beat. Anyone who shoots 5-pointers, he wouldn't even know what to do if he had to fight in close. He's not used to being around people like that unless it gets real tight. And what is he going to do? He wouldn't know what to do. It'll be a slaughter, man. Someone sent me a clip where they have Conor ranked 15th in boxing. What the wait? Have you seen this? Hey, yes, I have. You know why? Because they're trying to set up a fight. Isn't he ranked in the WBA, man? If I thought correctly, isn't he ranked in the WBA? I don't know if it was Conor McGregor or not. It might have been Conor Ben, but he's not ranked. I would be hard pressed if he's ranked 15th in any sanctioning bodies having fought since Floyd. But they might have been talking about Conor Ben, not Conor McGregor. Because if boxing is thinking about moving Conor McGregor into the top 15, that's a farce. But as I was scanning, I did think it was Conor Ben, not Conor McGregor. There's no way that I can even believe that can happen. There's smarter people out there that never let that shit happen. But James Johnson, a black belt. Who's James Johnson? James Johnson. Now, when you say black belt, are you talking about black belt instructor in a school or black belt competitor of BJJ? What are we talking about? Is he a student and a black belt? I'm not sure. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know about the potential. You have Israel Adesanya facing Juan Blachowicz for the light heavyweight championship, and he's attempting to do what Daniel Cormier was able to do. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was able to do. I mean, Amanda Nunes was able to do. Israel Adesanya is trying to be the middleweight champ and the light heavyweight champ when he faces Warren Blachowicz next year. That is coming up pretty soon. And he might pull it off too. He might pull it off. So like I said previously on my live, I said this several months ago. Several months. Remember, I will rehash it. Israel Adesanya picks up the 2 belts. His second belt in light heavyweight. It will potentially set up the biggest super fight in combat sports history. If Israel Adesanya and John Jones is linked up to fight, I believe PPV wise and everything else to go around here monetarily and collectively to build this fight up, it's going to be epic. It's going to be motherfucking epic. And I do believe it will rank top 5 PPV buys in boxing. I don't know how far it's going to go at the ladder, but I truly believe it's going to breach into the top 5 highest PPV boxing matches ever. That's only if Israel Adesanya and John Jones fight. Nobody else. Nobody else. A black belt in what though, Milo? A black belt in what? If you're talking about Taekwondo, it's potentially true. Karate, yeah, Kempo. I mean, Kung Fu. It's so many black belts you can be. I mean, shit. I don't know about a black belt in BJJ now. If it is, I'd like to know who his professor is. NBA player. He played for the Heat. He has an MMA 7-0. James Johnson. I don't know, man, and I'm curious to know what black belt he's actually wearing right now. Like a black belt. He's earned a black belt in what art? That's what I'm curious about. What art? What art? Absolutely. What art are we talking about? But I'll be on tomorrow pretty earlier than usual, I think. And it's the last day of the New Year, people. And those of you that's on here, you know, Milo, Mitch, D-Ray, Color Local Sports, Black and Brown Boxing, Mitch Grogan, Michael Lewis, Dead Game Boxing. Appreciate you pulling up for the first time. Transcending Sports, Andrew Charles, 79 Boxing. Mark Nash was in here earlier. Got to go jump on his live, man. And Michael Johnson Boxing Talk. Appreciate every one of y'all for stopping through, man. The numbers are large in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? For those who come by and talk this boxing and MMA. Yeah, I'll definitely be back through tomorrow. But I'm gonna shut it down today. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.
What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you're tuned in to World Combat Sports.